Oh, mitakiasa, namaste, sarve mire rishtadar. So, na osio, all my relatives. Got a few minutes here for the morning fire ceremony. So I am between my morning meditation practices I do and morning fire ceremony. And then there's the 22 grandmother prayers. I'm just telling you, we are living in some amazing times. And yes, there are challenges. We've all got them. So, I'm being called to share, how do you do it on $175 a month? That's what I've been receiving. And actually, once I started receiving this $175 a month, I feel rich. Because before that, I was living with, donations. There were times where it's like, I'm not sure how this is gonna work, Spirit. And then a donation would come through. Sometimes at the very last minute. And yes, there were times where I was calling for donations for like taking care of Damon. That maybe he needed something. Rarely was it for myself. It was mainly for the mission, the vision, the carrying of the pipe bundle to get from one destination to the next. So, in many, many, many ways, I was extremely blessed and extremely grateful. So how do I do it? Well, one, I never buy anything new. Unless it's something specific for, then it was the nonprofit or the ministry. Something, a spirit, well, as I look around, not even really, currently not even for the pipe bundle or any of a pad of paper, a pad of drawing paper. However, that's for my All Relations Fire team. It's not for me. I benefit from it by being a part of it, but it's not for me. Two, so like clothes, never buy them new. I've purchased maybe 2 items brand spanking new. And there was a small part of me that felt a little bit guilty. However, it was needed. It was needed, and I couldn't find it in the thrift stores. So, 2, I I'll never say never. I rarely purchase food with cash. Now, because I live below the poverty level, so to speak, I am gifted with SNAP benefits. So that helps extremely. However, I have learned to be very, very frugal with them, very, very mindful about how I'm spending it. So you could say it's like a budget. And then when I was traveling, I was gifted by so many of my hosts. And in between time, because I lived on a motorcycle, I was eating raw. I was eating fresh, primarily fresh. Sometimes there was a bit processed, like different vitamin cookies or something like that. Or the beloved fasting, and you wouldn't believe how good fasting is for you. Or like a protein powder and some water. So then 3, now that I'm gifted with this beautiful apartment through my VA benefits, because I am a veteran, so through my VA benefits being gifted in this apartment, I'm now receiving $175 a month with my disability. And that's going to be upped in the future. However, for now, that's what it is. So how do I do it? Well, again, there's the food thing, and food prices being so outrageous the way they are now. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful food banks. And so for that, I am extremely, extremely grateful. Eating fresh really kind of keeps you out of the medical field. Just saying. Being vegan, not eating all that, our animal friends, really, really keeps you healthy and out of the doctor's office. 2, paper products. Like, what's up with our need of paper products? You know, we used to live many, many, many thousands of years, let's say, without paper products. You use a towel and then wash it. I wash it in the shower when I'm taking my shower. It's a 2-for-1 deal with soap. I don't buy laundry soap. I use regular soap. I learned that in India. Blowing your nose and those kinds of things. Well, now when I was ill, I was grateful that I had been gifted a bunch of toilet paper by my NCHP. So, but I didn't want to use it because I'm like, I've lived all these years without toilet paper. So I had it in the closet. Well, when I was sick, it did come in handy. So I'll give you that one. However, normally, they're called handkerchiefs or bandanas. And then you wash them. And you know how quickly these things dry? Just saying. When it's real, pure cotton. Not that fake stuff. And when I was in India, I learned, number 1, you don't eat with your left hand. Well, here in the United States, I'm on the opposite side of the world. I'm a lefty, so I don't eat with my right hand. And the reason for that is because that's the hand you wipe with while you're pouring a cup of water over your tush. You know, that's how they came up with those bidets. The no-touch bidets, because, oh, heaven have mercy, you gotta wipe your butt. We're animals, people. Get over that shit. So, you pour the cup of water over your tushy-wushy and then you wash your hands. No toilet paper. So, between the paper towels, handkerchiefs and or bandanas, and a cup of water, you don't need any paper products. Do you know how much money you will save? OMG. Do you know how many trees you will save? OMG. And then, of course, the same thing with diapers for our little ones. Okay, so that's that piece. Not buying all these new and fancy clothes. Do you know how many clothes are sitting at the thrift stores? Goodwill. Of course, I like the other kind of thrift stores that are benefiting, like rescued animals and the the different kind of organizations and so forth versus Goodwill, because that's all for that big ass CEO and their staff and stuff like that. But anyway, so do you know how much stuff is there? Or, oh my gosh, the resources that we go through is absolutely incredible. And I'm hypocritical at the same time because I am using a cell phone, which is a lot of resources. Just saying. So I'm just as guilty. However, I will say, I do not have to go out and buy the latest, well, and I can't, the latest cell phone, I don't have a computer. Though sometimes I think it would be nice to really kind of whip some things out. However, I can write a book on my cell phone. I can record myself on a cell phone. There's so much I can do with a cell phone that I don't necessarily need a computer. So, anyway, there's so many ways that we can save. If we take a look at the old original ways and incorporate them, we're not necessarily going to go back, though Mother Earth may take us there if we don't get our act together. But we can bring those things forward. Okay, I've gone on long enough. I better take a look at my time and hop on to the All Relations Fire Ceremony. Loving y'all.